grave digger.
The globalists are digging our grave. We either dig a grave for their corrupt parasitic system, or they're going to shovel us into the grave they've dug. Get that through your heads, folks. You're under attack. The enemy's announced it and thinks you're too stupid to recognize it. We'll find out humans' potential. I believe in man. I believe in humanity with God's help. James, we're almost out of time. I look forward to having you back up for a full hour future. I'll probably just put you up and you can come on and do the show, and the first time test it out, maybe co-host with Aaron Dykes, another great guy we're getting lined up who co-hosted for 30 minutes a few weeks ago. But I'm just honored to have you on. Tell us about some of your latest reports on eugenics, the Rockefeller Foundation documents about sterilant vaccines. That was one of your latest reports I saw, and some of the other reports you're working on. Yeah, that's
Sorry about that.
Well, we're just testing your Skype and it has a few problems, but go ahead. Tell us about some of the other projects you're working on.
As you mentioned earlier, I've got Reportage, my book, coming out later this year, and I've been promising it for a while now, so I better get on that. But I've almost got that done, and I've got video reports coming out on a weekly basis. I've got Sunday Update. It's my weekly news series. I've got New World Next Week that I do with James Evan Pilato of MediaMonarchy.com, where we go over 3 news stories every week. And I've got a new series called The Last Word, and I've already done The Last Word on Overpopulation and The Last Word on Terrorism. So that's up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Corbett Report. I'm doing interviews, podcast episodes, and articles. So it's all up on my website. But Alex, you'll be happy to hear your listeners have already managed to crash my website. So excellent. I hope people will keep trying over the next few days. But,
yeah, well, that's a good problem to have.
It might be up. I actually got through. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you're a good guy and a great mind. Hopefully you can start doing this more and more and fund yourself for the book and do it full time. That's what I did, and that's how we build larger, more powerful operations to face the globalist. We've got to do that. James, tell us about some of the other reports you've done in the past, the things that you're focusing in on.
Well, for instance, on my podcast this week, I covered 30 ways you're being spied on, and it's just basically an audio documentary collecting some audio clips of all of the just craziness that's being employed to spy on the American people and people all around the globe, and from the blimps that the Utah State Police are using to the spy satellites that the American government is now admitting they are using against the American people, to the cell phone tracking, all of those incredible ways that we're now admittedly being tracked, traced, and controlled. And I tried to end it on a bit of a positive note with someone saying that the technology that's enslaving us is also the technology that will free us, and that we can use this technology against the system. And I think that's something that people need to take to heart as well, because absolutely it's important for people to realize that we can use this technology against the system that's trying to use it against us. And to what extent we can do that and whether we'll ultimately win is up in the air. But I'm hoping that we can organize some sort of resistance that's more meaningful than just some rioting or turning over cars, because as we know, the system is set up and geared towards violent revolution, but they're not geared towards the revolution of the mind. And if we light the fire in the minds of men and spread that around the world, there is nothing that will stop free humanity. Yes.
Lighting fires in the minds of men, beautifully said. Here's an example of them throwing the control grid in our face. Here's the New Yorker magazine. A new article just out yesterday. It's the headline is, talk about throwing it in our face, no big deal. But Google may have promoted a contest to kids to get their social security numbers. I'll read that again. No big deal. Kind of like in Pennsylvania. No big deal. The school's watching your kids over laptops at home in the shower. No big deal. The school told them themselves, oh, we're doing it. No big deal, but Google may have promoted a contest to get kids' social security numbers, and then it just says, basically, it's no big deal to try to trick little kids to give them their social security numbers. I mean, is there no end to their evil, how they're just trying to normalize classical tyranny?
Unfortunately not, and it was one of the Google CEOs, I think it was Eric Schmidt, I can't remember, but he said that Google's all about going up to the edge of the creepy line and then not crossing it. But of course we know they don't just like to go up to the creepy line, they like to pole vault over it and see how far they can get. And Google is absolutely just one of the most sick companies out there right now, with all of their Google latitude, so you can spy on your friends in real time and find out where they're going and all the other things.
Yeah, they get you in on the evil. Classic ways to bathe people in the corruption. I mean, classic corruption model, scientifically carried out. It's an NSA, CIA front, as is Microsoft on record. We were kooks talking about it a decade ago, 6 years ago. Now it's mainstream news. James Corbett, amazing interview. We'll talk to you again soon. We're going to come back and I'm going to tell you who the big guest is. Thank you. Who the big guest is tomorrow.